Welcome to the watching show you can watch. We're playing to this. Surprise. You didn't know that we were gonna.
Top 10 anime plot twists.
Yeah.
We're still playing this game.
Welcome to Mojo. Watch Mojo.
Right.
Yeah. Top 10 anime twists. We're playing this game again.
You know what? I wouldn't be upset if there's a top 10 anime list of betrayals so I can get 100 of them because those are always funny. The anime betrayal list. All right. I missed a line which said something like, then I have a plan, and then this one popped
Then
up.
I have a suggestion, is what she said.
Right.
We're gonna film something together.
Her eyes flashed conspiratorially, and I couldn't even remember when the first time I had watched or heard something recorded on a cassette was.
With a cool movie on it.
Oh, where would we get a VCR here? This word came to me from the past, and I decided to test whether my guesses about which time period I had been placed in were right.
At the Cybernetics Club, of course.
There's nothing there, I said confidently.
What about in the back room?
Oh, she was right. It could be there. Well, maybe, but anyway, it's too late and everything is closed. That strange feeling of guilt I felt in front of Ulyana wasn't giving me a chance to refuse immediately.
We can get in there through the window.
She grinned mischievously. Well, you know,
maybe you're right. Wish we could get a key.
suddenly a key appeared. Mused Ulyana. But I had one in my pocket. When? Why? What for? Where did this come from? And I just remembered about it. Now that you mention it, yes, I've got a key. Ba-dum, 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 Zelda music. Next time I better think before I speak.
It was from when you talked to Slavia in the room and you took the keys.
That, or I seem to remember the nurse giving me a key that I wasn't supposed to use. Or
Oh,
something.
maybe.
I don't know.
That's good, and I'll run get the tape. You in here, and I'll be right back.
She disappeared before I could even open my mouth. It's strange that she wasn't surprised that the key to the Cybernetics Club mysteriously happened to be in my pocket at the right place and time. But in any case, I have to decide what to do next. The most right and logical thing would be to not go anywhere with her, but my guilt got to me. Though it seems to me that there could be nothing criminal in watching a movie with her. But on the other hand, with Ulyana, even the most harmless things can turn into three-ring circus, at the very least. I was already starting to forget about what had happened this evening, about my frantic attempts to get the truth from Alyssa and Olga Dmitrievna. I fell asleep again. In just a couple minutes, she returned.
Have second thoughts.
I looked at Ulyana and felt a bit uncomfortable.
Are we going?
Listen, you know, your ideas are, let's say, not good. And in the end, everything will be bad.
Are you scared?
No, I'm not. I'm just a grown man, and I'm not interested in such games.
Grown man.
She laughed. Indeed, I forgot to look at the 17 at most.
What makes you think so?
It's really hard to accept, but I had nothing to say to that. Thinking about it, the whole time I spent here, I did not display any particular forethought, nor life experience, nor cold, balanced assessment of the situation. Though the other question is, how did I ever show those in that life? And in fact, even if I think, I would recall some examples, of course, but... Okay, let's go! I was so offended by Ulyana's words that I asked, and what is grown man in your opinion?
One who's responsible for his actions. One who does not do anything at all, ever. That's a grown man. A person who is capable of taking good care not only of himself, but also of others.
And all that doesn't describe you, that's for sure. I tried to laugh it off.
I'm not pretending to be like that anyway.
Grinned Ulyana. She was absolutely right. I do not possess any of those qualities, but I always thought that not having been 17 is all that's required. It seems that in general there is no difference between me and the other people, and if I wish I could be exactly like they are. Is that all wrong? In fact, no, because in this camp I try to behave in the most logical, sensible, and proper way, like an adult. But even if Ulyana says differently, then how can I get out of here? We went in. It took some time for Ulyana to find a light switch. Ooh.
Presto.
She found the sauce. I exaggeratedly clapped my hands.
Hey, stop making fun of me.
She pouted. Okay, what's next?
Here.
She's like dying from smoking.
Yeah.
All right, come on,
She sounds like death. That's like
I gotta take my plug out to talk right.
It's like she's deathly sick, but her spirits are just as good.
Yeah.
So she's just going through it. Ulyana went to the door. The second room had to rest it open. Oh, it's this room again.
I gotta put my plug in. All right, right, I'm ready to go.
The neck plug from smoking. Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't much space inside. Seems more like this room was used for storage. A storage room, if you will. Boxes piled on top of each other and formed some sort of Elpson and miniature various devices scattered here and there reminded me of the old Carol instrument game. It's a room. To my right, there was a TV set with a person next to. Interestingly, they were not Soviet. They were not Soviet. I bet they were Japanese, at least by their appearance. Not very surprising in those days, or more accurate for me, these days, imports already existed.
What did I tell you?
Ulyana smiled triumphantly. Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that before?
I have. Perhaps I've got the VCR too. Probably it's lying somewhere in the mezzanine in my house.
Seems like you're not surprised at all.
Why should I be surprised?
A Japanese TV set, a video player, you look like you often see such things.
Not too often lately, I agreed lazily.
You are so gloomy.
Never.
Nevertheless, go. Okay, take it.
She handed me a cassette. I turned it over in my hands, but I did not find any sticker or labels on it. So what's on it?
I don't know exactly,
Mused Ulyana.
but I'm sure it's something very interesting.
So she grabbed a tape from somewhere, and she doesn't know what's on it, and she wants us to just watch whatever's on a mystery tape. She wants to do Best of the Worst, Black Spine Edition. Okay. Soon the logo of a well-known American film company appeared on the screen.
Here, watch.
She immediately grasped me in fear and fell asleep on me again. You know, this was gonna happen. We already been through
We
this.
fell asleep. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's so stupid.
I'm glad his eyes are. It's funny because he looks like unenthused. Like he's pretending for her sake.
I had one idea about the eyes thing, and I think
I'll
that
allow one.
the eyes only show up when it's real life. Like all this is sort of fantasy, and so like when he's his adult self, you can see his eyes because it. Yeah,
That's
anyway.
just a good observation. At least when he's an adult, that I think is true. But remember when he was with Lena, like, he was like 30 and they were married? Like,
And they
is
had
that
eyes.
real?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I wonder if there's ever an example where it's real life or they're adults, but he does not have eyes.
The
Because
one
as
I can think of, was when he was on his way, when he had arrived at the bus stop and was waiting to be taken away. But he did not have eyes there. He just was an older man, like with a beard.
I remember him having eyes.
Oh, maybe he did then. But he wasn't. But if he did, then that would further confirm my point. But
It's more fun to guess than to Google the answer because it's probably already been thought out already.
Yeah, I'm afraid if
it's a
I
good
look
idea.
up all the photos from, I'm just gonna see vaginas. So
And I'll have to be like, excuse me. Do an inhale with me.
vagina's hanging out. Yeah, the sound is so funny when it's like so close to the board. You start hearing the
Distortion.
clipping.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me happy. Anyways, Ulyana even started fidgeting impatiently. I'm watching! A few minutes later, I realized that the tape contained a famous film from the 80s. It was about the robot from the future sent to kill someone in the past, so in the years in between, a hero wouldn't be born. Interesting coincidence. You could say I was friends from the future too. So what? My mission is to kill someone from among the local residents? I could not help laughing.
What's so funny?
Ulyana looked at me reproachfully. Oh, nothing.
Seems as if you don't like the movie.
The movie.
I'll be back.
The movie's all right. I've seen it several times. Whoops.
How can that be?
Her eyes widened in surprise. Well, my friend gave me a cassette. Ulyana stared intently at me. Anyway, I keep watching. I pointed at the screen. So Terminator. Great. When the film was about halfway through, I heard someone trying to open the front door. Quick! Pretend like we were fucking. We were watching Terminator.
That's funny. Pretend like we just snuck up to have intercourse.
No. That joke's been done, but they open the door and they're watching Terminator. It's not what it looks like. We were
doing drugs.
We were doing drugs.
Yeah.
It is said that when a person has one of their senses weakened, the others are amplified. I was quite blind, but I could hear perfectly. Lights off! This won't be conspicuous, I whispered loudly. Turn off the lights! I yelled very loudly. Ulyana realized that this wasn't the time to argue with me and rushed to the switch. Meanwhile, I pressed the pause button. I heard footsteps in the other room and saw a flashlight flickering on the door. Has got to be Olga. I wonder who decided to sneak into the cybernetics club at night.
They're not here.
It was the voice of Olga.
I better not check the one place they would hide if they were here.
Soon the front door slammed shut. I sighed with relief. I imagine, she's very level-headed. They're not here. slams the door in frustration, and you add it on top of it. Fuck! It was perfect.
And just like very angry. Fuck. Yeah.
See that? Again, that's because of you. Let's fight. Ulyana stared at me in surprise. Why else would she come here at night? She's definitely searching for us. Alyssa likely doesn't care about your absence, but I'm registered as at the camp leader's cabin.
My absence is really good. For instance, I have a sense that you have abs.
Ah. I don't understand. She thought for a while.
Well, so what?
So what? Why are you constantly looking for trouble? Actually, I'm for a trouble. It's almost as if you like it.
It's a more fun this away.
It is a fun when you are constantly scolded and punished.
Nothing adventured and nothing again.
Laughed merrily. Eventually, there are also rules. Well, up until now, you have evaded serious consequences, but who knows what could happen next? It could all end bad easily.
You grab it like a granny.
She said, offended. And who said recently that I could not be called an adult?
Forget it. Let's finish the movie.
I decided not to argue with her. In the end, we are already on a Olga Dmitrievna's wait list. And an hour later, an hour earlier, doesn't really matter. Back to the picture.
Was she still pointing?
Yeah.
That's how you watch movies, just pointing.
Point again.
And he's, this is how I watch movies.
This is how I watch movies. Yeah. That's my favorite line. This is how I watch movies. This is how I watch movies. At these
We're
scary,
both watching movies the way we do.
Did you tell? At each scary scene, Ulyana jumped, screamed, and grabbed me by the hand. I was not so keen on the film. I do not consent.
It hurt my hand.
Squeeze my hand.
Well, you grabbed it.
My pinky. It still pretended that.
You're giving me rough knuckles. I didn't lotion.
Apart from the evil robot, there was a good man sent on the future to prevent his evil deeds. Maybe I'm not here with the goal of becoming a ruthless killing machine, but on the contrary, to change and prevent something. Yes.
So stupid. She grabbed my hand. Ow.
Ow, every time. I want to do that as a joke. If I just a girl grabs my hand, I go, ow, every time she grabs it just to annoy her and piss her off, as it should.
That is funny.
Just keep it up. Ow.
I'm just gonna genuinely though. Like, ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To prevent some event, for example, or to stop someone from some wrongdoing. The analogy is fairly interesting, but is not based on any real facts. I don't have a shotgun in my hands. I'm not wearing a leather jacket, and I haven't got the motorcycle to ride. I don't even have sunglasses.
Look.
The next chase with shooting and the destruction of various types of wheeled and propelled vehicles was unfolding on the screen. Do you think the good guy will win? Of course, I know the answer.
Obviously, good always try.
She said seriously. If we consider that Ulyana often succeeded in her silly ventures, the meaning of the word good gets seriously twisted.
Wait, but you already watched it.
Yeah, just wanted to know your opinion. Soon the film came to an end. During the final scenes, Ulyana ran around the room trying to get a better view of everything happening on the screen without missing anything. Why? She gasped with relief, and the ending credits started.
You need to ask, of course.
That's good.
I can see you didn't really.
She squinted slyly. Well, it's a film for kids after all.
Really?
Well, yeah, so what?
Nothing.
She yawned and sat on the floor with her back against a pile of boxes. She's gonna fall asleep. It's probably time to go to sleep.
I'm tired and I won't go anywhere.
As you wish. I'd better go then.
Hey, wait.
What? Ulyana jumped and grabbed me by the hand.
Will you leave me here all alone?
Well, if you want, should I carry you to your cabin? I said uncertainly. In the end, I was already experienced at that.
No, I want to sleep here.
She rummaged in the box next to her and pulled out some sort of blankets and pillows. Hot. Again, the same story, I sighed. Just think, Olga Dmitrievna is already looking for us, and if we spend all night here...
I had to yawn just then.
She's looking for you. That has nothing to do with me.
Laughed Ulyana. Even if that's so, then you'll be caught too.
Let me say that. Even if that did count, that's okay. I'm used to it.
Why are you so stubborn? It's only a couple of 100 meters to your cabin.
I want to fuck.
We should both. It's like at some point she just gives up on
at some point on the clues.
Shielding it.
As well as that, you couldn't say that I was completely exhausted.
I'm so tired.
Bullshit. She wrapped herself in a blanket, turned away from me, and began to diligently fake loud snores. Okay. Okay then. See you tomorrow. I tried to leave, but they grabbed my hand again. God damn it. Well, now what? She didn't say. She didn't say anything. She looked as if I scared her. Right then, I should What I should do is completely unclear. I don't know. Our little cassette adventure was idiotic from the beginning, but now it was beyond my comprehension. This is super tame compared to everything else we've ever done. Everything else. The ghost thing, carrying her to her cabin, her kissing you. This is all like petty, foddering Tammany hole hucksters. I had no idea what the logic behind her actions was, what the meaning and motivation was. However, despite all this, I could firmly say, I do not consent. Something stopped me. Maybe a sense of duty or pity to the patients, which will be shown to committing with children. Okay, what do you want from me?
Go to sleep.
That's about as close as you can say
Yeah.
it. Go to sleep with me.
Sleep.
Seems like I've seen it somewhere already. Well, let's assume. I turned off the lights and nestled beside. What the fuck is happening? It's the same picture. It's the same picture. I'm laying on grass.
It's like the worst picture.
It's pretty bad. But he's laying on the grass again in the storage room. Good thing
Her leg looks like a toddler leg. It's not a good picture.
They change everyone's proportions, honestly, like their size all the time. She looks more adulty in some of them. Now she just looks like 8 years old or something. It's very distressing. Good thing it was summertime. Otherwise, sleeping on the wooden floor would not be the best idea. This green, grassy wooden floor. The lack of a mattress was not even worth mentioning.
Why did you agree so easily?
I could hear the resentment in her voice. You asked, so I did. Actually, I said no a few times. In fact, I was completely convinced that Ulyana was false. So quick with us, I'll carry her to a cabin again. Basically, it's a good plan, despite the fact that I will again serve as a beast of burden.
Hey, talk to me.
Just sleep. You're the one who wanted to.
Just talk.
About what?
Tell me something interesting about yourself for the of life.
My life is not an action-packed.
Nothing to recall at all.
Even if I had something, telling her was not the best idea. Nothing at all.
Can't be that bad.
Turned to Ulyana. She was lying with her eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. You can, trust me.
That's so boring.
From time to time, she was silent for a while and then smiled and said,
But here you had fun.
oh, that's true.
Will you remember this camp?
First, I need to get out of here. Of course I will.
And the others?
I will.
And me?
No. I said it all with absolutely even tone, and to be honest,
No.
wasn't thinking about her questions.
And I will.
Perfect delivery. Whispered Ulyana. Immediately, I felt her head dropping on my chest and her hand wrapping around my neck. Comfortable?
Yeah.
She murmured. You haven't found. Is that your sleeping noise? Is that your sleeping noise?
Murmured.
She shook her head slightly. Well, let her lie like that. In the end, maybe she'll fall asleep faster. No, probably more than 5 minutes passed before I decided to check on her and lightly tugged on her shoulder.
What?
She asked without looking up. I noticed an unusual tone in her voice. Note in her voice. Why aren't you sleeping?
Look who's talking.
Time was passing treacherously slowly. I decided to wait at least another 10 minutes before the next time I checked, but the seconds seemed to be hours. My eyes began to slowly close. I struggled to stay awake. Uh-oh, don't fall asleep, dude! I blinked for a moment and woke up, only to realize that my state was close to unconsciousness. Maybe just close your eyes for a minute? What's so terrible about that? The thought flashed through my head, and immediately I drifted off. No! Don't fall asleep, guys.
Ever.
It's dangerous.
That's the one rule.
Ugh. I'll be amazed if nothing happens. There are probably worse things in life than falling asleep while being cuddled by a little girl. An adult, consenting adult.
Oh my
Of
god.
18 years. Oh my gosh. Now the door opens and armed men leap toward us. I can't make out what they're screaming, but their intentions are clear. So it's the two guys. No, I'm not scared at all. I'm rather embarrassed or even ashamed. When I opened my eyes, it took me some time to realize where exactly I was. It was dark in here. Only a dim light was gleaming under the door. Why do they make storage rooms without windows?
But then it has a window right there. Behind that piece of thing. That's a window. Behind the map.
It's got to be. It's not
Or like a
it's
tackboard.
not a door, you know?
Yeah, that's a freaking window.
Let's just say it's a window.
Oh my gosh.
He's stupid and blind. Remember he said he's blind? But he can hear
There's
the window.
only a tackboard gently
can hear
leaned
the
against
windows.
the wall.
So when your senses are down, you have better senses, but he could hear the window, but he couldn't see it because he's blind. Although obviously that's the way it should be. But why on earth would anyone bring a TV set and a VCR in here then? I know why. I cursed the architects of this building in my mind and shook Ulyana by her shoulders. Come on, get up now. She stretched. As we were lying together, I could see her sleepy eyes even in the dark. She said some words.
Well, let me sleep.
Ulyana tried to turn away, but I firmly grabbed her ass with my shoulder.
With her shoulders.
I grabbed her ass with my shoulder. I'm just imagining, it's just like a
Firmly grabbed.
it's like you kick someone, but you just knock with your shoulder. I don't know what time it is, but regardless, it would be smart for us to get. Oh, it's smart for us to get out of here.
No.
She whispered, half asleep. I said, wake up, come on. I jumped up easily, pulled her to her feet. Moaned Ulyana with frustration and saliva in her voice. I started to look for the lights, but suddenly heard footsteps outside the door. My heart sank. Yeah.
Why so early?
I thought it was him and Shirk, but what if it's him and the library girl? Would that be great?
No, it's gonna be him and Shirk, and they're working on their secret robot.
Yeah. We have a truckload of work to do. No time to waste. You know what? We have to do it all before the departure.
All right, fine.
It looks like our 2 a.m. cybernetics are paying a visit to the clubhouse before the break of dawn today. Shush! I whispered to Ulyana.
Shut up!
And what's the...
She didn't manage to finish her sentence before the vibrating
I
started.
said shush! Well, I understand all that, but we might at least have to wait it until after breakfast.
Oh, do you have something else to do?
Not
I hear some
really.
hesitation in Electronic's voice. Sure you don't want to head off to your library bright and early again?
Hadn't the slightest
He
intention.
replied fretfully. Oh, sure, yeah, if you say so. Soon the work kicked off behind the door. I could hear the hammer strikes, machines rattling, and electronics buzzing. Electronic and Shirk were discussing their own matters, so I wasn't paying any attention. I was more interested in knowing when they'll finally leave the building. Rather soon. Breakfast is coming. But if we take Shirk's passion into consideration,
Let go of me.
Ulyana finally wrestled her way but didn't raise her voice after all.
Why can't I just leave?
She asked under her breath loudly, "And what do you think? It's all fine?"
Well, what's the problem?
Well, we spent the whole night here together. And it's obvious what they had assumed, considering I'd taken precaution of closing the door.
So?
What do you mean so? I said tiredly. Just trust me. I know that it doesn't matter to you, but it does matter to me.
Okay, fine. We're hiding. Keep hiding. Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
I was prepared to wait for a long time if necessary, but barely a couple of minutes later, the front door opened and somebody came in.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning. It was Slavia.
I just wanted to ask if you happen to have any sticky tape.
Meanwhile, Ulyana's just posed like that, and the whole conversation's going on.
Same pose.
We do somewhere, replied Shirk thoughtfully.
Take a look in the back room. They're the same colors.
Yeah, they're all three of them, so it's like I hard.
Yeah.
Music's getting intense. These words gave me goosebumps, and I grabbed the door handle in a strange stranglehold. Slavia approached the door from the opposite side and tried to pull it open, but was straining against the door with all my strength. Yeah.
It's locked.
It can't be. We never locked that room.
Let me try. Sure, I yanked the door handle, but nothing happened, although it took a lot of effort for me to hold it steady. It's stuck. Give me a hand here. A few moments, they were trying to open the door together with the electronic. I grasped the handle. It was as if my whole life was depending
Okay,
on...
I just thought some. They everybody together is playing tug of war, and then finally the three on the other side yank it open, and you two both fall
Yeah,
on
with
all
the
three
door.
of them.
Yeah.
The same drawing that you falling on Slavia the first time, but all three of them are under both of you two.
Yes.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
I know.
That's the
That
joke
would be
is
the
elevated.
That'd be the pinnacle.
I grasped him. I let go struggle with my hands quickly, and I let go. Here it comes. The door slammed open, and the bright sunlight blinded me, so I couldn't see the startled.
The sunlight turned on the light in the room.
The sunlight. I mean, the light bulb. The electronics for the first few seconds. Okay, so these guys are all seeing me being an asshole.
Ahem, good morning.
Morning.
Ulyana was standing behind me so that I couldn't see her, but I could feel the embarrassment in her voice. Ha! And what are you doing here? Asked Shirk, almost as if he wasn't surprised. Well, to tell you the truth, we were watching a movie. Ulyana brought a tape. You have a VCR here. Shirk distrustfully stared into the depths of the back room. I gave Ulyana a nudge on the side until she got the message and displayed the tape.
And what is that movie?
A barely visible grin crossed the electronic's face. Just a regular film, a thriller. The latest thriller. And then I managed it. And then I imagined what he and the others were thinking right now, and I was overwhelmed with rage. If you think nothing like that. Oh,
This one is that's all. I believe that's all my fault, and I'm gonna verify right now. Yep, that's all my fault.
Okay, save, poop. Yes.
That's all her fault is the one that makes it the bad ending.
my fault.
Yes, it's all my fault.
Boom. Sex. Oh, and then electronic revealed his true form.
Yeah.
Nobody's accusing you of anything.
Said Slavia without looking at me because she hates me. At least there's one sensible person among all present here.
Yet,
She added under her breath.
Yeah.
What?
everything was exactly as he told you.
Ulyana joined the conversation.
We were just watching a film and then felt sleepy. It was so late.
You didn't think anything, just a stupid situation. Come on, enough.
Electronic put up with
Yes.
I think Ektjiwjsbdrjej would be that judge.
Slavia said the cool voice.
What a cool voice, Slavia.
Wow, what a cool voice, Slavia.
Thank you. I'll keep doing it.
Thank you. I work on it.
I just keep trying to do.
Hey, wait. Why take this to the camp leader?
Who else?
But you see, we're telling the truth.
I am not the one to judge.
Damn. Then who? It. Then who? You have seen everything with your own eyes.
That's for the captain.
This is the third time she's saying this.
Doesn't decide.
Slavia said quietly and turned to go. Just wait. I appeared before the door in a single bound
I'm mad
locked her.
because I wanted to bone you.
Yeah. They all did. Even Electronic does. Remember that?
Such a great picture.
Listen.
This is none of my business.
Slavia's trying to avoid my gaze. It seemed like she's also uncomfortable about this situation.
I am just obligated to.
Whom are you obligated to? Why do you need to do this?
Because
She was unable to find the words to finish. So, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to tell anyone anything.
no,
She said nervously, but then raised her head and gave me an intense gaze.
I'm sorry, Semyon. Just leave her. Let it go.
I turned my head to Ulyana. This fraction of a second was enough for Slavia to slip out at the clubhouse. Wait! Just wait! I yelled at her. She ran, but
Wait. The way you say, wait. Just wait. And you have the same. Wait.
pursuing Slavia in the futile attempt to prevent her from going to the camp leader made no sense. If she intends to, I can't exactly tie her up.
She can't prove anything anyway.
Ulyana chuckled. Who cares whether she could prove anything or not? Do you understand your position in all of this?
It's doggy style.
She thinks it was doggy style. We need to explain it was missionary and it wasn't that bad.
It was reverse cowgirl, really. I promise, Olga. Reverse cowgirl.
No one would believe that.
It was. Look, I'll show you right now. Oh, well, if that's the case.
And you know our position on doggy in this camp.
So stupid.
In any situation you're involved in, your guilt is a foregone conclusion. Moreover, in a case like this,
Wait, we are responsible together.
she smirked trickily. Exactly. I felt the building and sat on the stairs. All right, we're gonna stop right there for all time. And
I know.
why don't you do something about it? Why don't you fight? All right, suck one. See you on the next one.